Wrap up with our final speaker this evening, and we'll give you certainly the time that you'll need to get your comments in. You ready? Okay. Glenn Gilzine Jr. is the Vice President of Step Up for Students, the nonprofit that we just heard about. He recently served on the Pinellas County School Board, and he's now a member of the FAMU Board of Trustees. He founded an educational nonprofit called Educate Today, which is designed to uplift, encourage, and motivate today's at-risk youth. Now, he's going to wrap things up in terms of how the community can just get in and roll up their sleeves and become a part of moving our students forward. And for purposes in terms of time, I'm going to give you 10 minutes, or less, yeah, or less. Since y'all haven't been listening to my time, anyway. That's why I put my watch back on. I'm like, they ain't even listening. Okay, because the most important thing is to make sure that our community understands, and well, we understand, but we have a chance to interact with you all, okay? All right, you got it.
Thank you. You gonna move past? Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Glenn Gilzine. I promise I will be brief because our wonderful host and MC asked me to do so, so I promise I'll be brief. So I have my script that I am going to deviate from tonight, solely for the fact that I think it's important that we really embrace and come together in this conversation as we move forward to help our children in this community. But our mission with Step Up for Students is solely focused on how do we help break the cycle of poverty? And how do we provide low-income families the same hope and opportunities that affluent families have? Before I begin my presentation, I just wanted to share a little story of myself. My parents are Jamaican immigrants. They moved here about 3 years prior to I was born. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I tell you I use a vino and I dye my hair regularly, so that's why I look so young. But my mom didn't work. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my father was the only one. He was a mechanic by trade, and neither one of them had the opportunity of graduating high school. Neither one, their dream was to ensure that their children will have the opportunity to go on, graduate high school and go on to college. And it's through the grace of God that I was able to not only do that, but then also go on further, go on to college, go back, get a master's, and then to, before the age of 30, be one of 7 people to run the 7th largest school district in the state of Florida, with over 104,000 students. So everything that we're talking about here regarding opportunities and ensuring that children of color specifically have that chance, I'm a product of that. Solely for the fact that until the 6th grade, I was on the verge of being expelled. I went to my neighborhood school. But the one thing that I was really good at was called misbehaving. Solely for the fact that when I got into the 6th grade, I was reading on a 2nd grade level. And it's not the fault of the system. I won't say that. I would say it's just that I had a different way of learning. So because my parents moved here and wanted to ensure that not only myself and my 3 other sisters had a better quality of life, she refused that I failed. She refused. So this is how she got me, right? So she said, hey, at the age of 11, wouldn't you like to get a bi-weekly allowance? I said, absolutely. So now how many people in this room heard of Avon, Mary Kay, right? So as you're familiar with the catalog, you'll get your catalog, you can choose the order, you can choose what you want, order it, and then at the back of the catalog, there's like a name, says this is the authorized seller or representative in the area, contact this person. So my job every day after school was to stamp those Avon books and put them in the little plastic bags, and every weekend, I actually went out into the community and hand delivered those bags. So it got to the point where, 2 weeks is up, just like every regular employee, and they're like, hey, it's Friday, payday. when am I gonna get my check? And my mom gave me this little ledger and said, okay, you were expected to get paid, like $300 this week. But after I deduct your portion of the rent, deduct a portion of the light bill, the clothes that you have on, the food, you actually owe me $300. So what I need you to do is go make sure you clean up the kitchen, because I can write that off, and then make sure you take out the trash and everything like that. So not realizing at the time, even though I was extremely upset for the fact that I didn't get any cash and I was looking forward to buying those new Jordans, but it didn't work out. But by covering the cost of what they did is the money that they were able to accrue from that was allowed me to go to a small 7-day Adventist private school for the 7th and 8th grade. And the principal, teacher, everything, all in one. It was a school of, a classroom of 2 grades, 7th and 8th, and it was only a total of 15 students altogether. And the principal, teacher, all in one, Mr. and Mrs. Green, they were a tag team. They gave me the instruction that I needed. They allowed me to actually work at my pace and allowed me to actually continue to improve academically. I see the looks, hey, I gotta wrap up, so I'm gonna wrap up shortly. But they gave me the opportunity to grow. And because of that, I'm here before you today. We know the grace of God played a part. We know that because of loving parents that played a part. But we know with great quality teachers in that small class size, for a troubled youth like myself, there's no way I would be running, one of 13 running Florida A&M University to this day, or having this opportunity to stand before you. So I say all of that because if rich kids have the opportunity to pick up and go to an environment where schools are better, or pay for tuition, shouldn't poor kids have the same opportunity too? And that's where what we do with Step Up for Students is that we can provide that same hope and opportunity. Where low-income families, regardless of their zip code, if they feel like this school would best fit their child's needs, like that small 7-day Adventist school that fit my needs, that can ultimately help that child to become something special one day, that's what we're in the business of doing, and that's what our organization stands for. Now, what's important about that is that every child learns differently, and I'll just wrap up on that point. So it's not about the institution, it's not about the school, it's about finding out what really makes that child tick, and finding the school that will actually help that child succeed. And that's what we're in the business of doing. So I'll just give you a quick snapshot. Our scholarship is available for students in K through 12. The average household income is just 6% over poverty. By law, every child must be on free and reduced lunch. 2/3 of the students are African American or Hispanic, and more than 50% of them actually live in households with single moms and single dads. The more striking information about it is the same students are like me, who are a level 1 student and the lowest academic achievers. The good thing about our program is that the encouraging news is that these same students, based on last year's test scores, are achieving the same gains in reading and math as students in all income levels. The point is, in regards to educational choice, regardless if it's magnet, charters, online, career academies, or private schools, it's to match the students with the school that works best for them. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up, and I'll entertain any questions at the end. So God bless you, and thank you for your time.